Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of my question and answer videos that I do every single Monday. I'm answering questions from the last question and answer video from last Monday. Anything you want to ask me, just go down in the comment section, down there, down below. Ask me anything. I mean it, anything you want. I'll answer any questions you ask me, and if I don't, I missed it on accident, not on purpose. I try to answer everyone's questions. If I don't answer it thorough enough, ask me again. And please realize, you guys, I'm not a doctor, not any kind of mental health practitioner at all. I'm giving my opinion, just an honest, straightforward opinion on some of these subjects. So please take it with a grain of salt. I could be wrong. Okay, you may not agree. I'm just trying to offer information, to people, maybe help them sort things out themselves in their lives. So please, thank you. Ask me anything you want, and I will answer them next Monday in the next Q&A, okay? Thank you all for your support. So next question is from Jody in South Africa. Hello, Jody. I've really been enjoying your videos and uploads. I've recently separated from what I believe to be a covert narcissist or someone on the spectrum, at least. Thank you, Jody. I'm glad you're enjoying them. Okay. Love bombing phase. During the love bombing phase, he proposed after 2 weeks of knowing me, and he disregarded my boundaries, as I wanted to take things slow by throwing tantrums, getting angry when I expressed concerns about the pace of the relationship. A few weeks later, I happened to hear about what he had told his friends about me, that I'm desperate and begging to be with him. I'm too emotional and sensitive. I'm so attracted to him, and he gave explicit details about our intimate life and my body to them. It's such degrading and disrespectful stuff. They seem to have found entertainment in his tales, and I think for the first 3 months of our relationship, he was telling them this. He made up all these nasty lies about me and told his friends, while at the same time proposing marriage and saying I'm the best thing and it's always forever, showering me with affection. Okay, I got the gist of it. So he's saying, I love you, means so much to me, I want to marry you, and he's often telling his friends, making fun of you, talking bad about you, things like this. And like I said before in part 1, I think the theme, and there always seems to be a theme in the Q&As, something that people ask me a few times in one Q&A, and it usually makes me go make a video about that. A lot of my videos are about questions I get often, the same questions in a Q&A. So the theme of this seems to be this. When you have somebody that doesn't have long-lasting emotions like love and empathy, things like this, when you have people that don't, if someone doesn't emotionally connect with others, okay, which I don't think narcissists do, if they don't emotionally connect with people, then importance in their life will not be relationships, even though they have them. They don't find the importance of emotional connection in relationships. So what do they find important? Very, very shallow material things and status, okay? So this guy does not obviously see the advantages and benefits of having close, connective, emotional relationships with people. He's about status and what it looks like. So he'll judge who he is and and he'll care about what people think about what you may look like, what you look like, what you do, what you say. It's just shallow, nasty stuff. These people don't care about the importance, really the importance of relationships. They don't care. They use them and exploit them, objectify people. So he's telling you what you want to hear to have a relationship with you because that means something to him. He likes the attention. Maybe it increases his status. Maybe it makes him feel more secure in life, can't be alone, stuff like this. But anybody that talks bad about people, period, feels bad about themselves. I don't care. I don't care what their reason is. Okay? I don't care what they're saying. They're saying bad stuff about people. They feel bad about themselves. That's what projection is. And it's that obvious. All you have to do is you see someone sitting there talking so bad about somebody, they hate themselves. They can hate other people as much as you want, but people that love themselves don't hate a bunch of people and focus on it and obsess on it. This is gross. This is totally gross. And this guy will, since it's not important, he'll never have it. He doesn't emotionally connect with people. He never will. So he'll never have a good relationship with anybody. And his friends, even his friends. What kind of relationship, what kind of a friendship does he have with them? What kind of friends are they? What kind of people are they that think that's funny and nice and enjoy that? Anybody that enjoys smear campaigns is sick. I'm sorry, Jody, and I hope this man is out of your life. Thank you. Ariana from California. Hello, Ariana. As I make sense of my previous relationship with my ex-narc, there are two things I still can't make sense of. When we were together, he always brought up a particular ex he dated years before me. He's dated many women after her. Prior to meeting me, he always spoke highly of her. Never bad. I suppose she was the supply to break it off with him. She seems like a down-to-earth woman who has been in a committed relationship for a few years now. Question 1. Do narcs obsess over the supply that got away? Also, near the end of my relationship with my ex-narc, he made a comment about his own mother being attracted to him and liked to entertain that idea. It freaked me out and broke my heart to learn he would think such a thing. Question 2. Is it common thing for narcs to believe relatives such as parents to be attracted to them? Well, going back to what I said, the theme, right? If they don't emotionally connect with people, they may try to connect different ways. That's why people will be very sexual, hypersexual, sleep around, one-night stands. They don't emotionally connect. They're trying to connect, and they connect sexually. This is very disturbing. This kind of incest, he's attracted to his mother and things like this. It's very disturbing, very confused. He's obviously very confused. The mother is obviously very confused and confused him. The importance in his life is not on emotional connection in relationships. Obviously. They obviously aren't emotionally connected. Bizarre. Amazing. The first part you said, so do narcissists obsess over the supply that got away? I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard of that. A blow to their ego. People objectify, narcissists will objectify people, especially ones that they abuse and exploit. Maybe he didn't get to that point with that person. So maybe he's not so, maybe he doesn't hate, people that abuse that cycle of the idealization and love bombing, and then they start being critical and stuff like that. They start to hate the other person. And if the other person gets away before they start to hate them and still idealizing them, but not treating them well, and the other person leaves, they can't handle that. It's a total blow to their ego. That's why these people are so competitive. Because relationships aren't important to them. Because they don't want to ever be vulnerable. And the whole idea of what they're doing is so that they never get hurt again. Hope that makes sense. Very disturbing. Incest, right? How more confusing can people be? Helen from Wisconsin. Hello, Helen. 3-year relationship with ex-narc after 32 years with the love of my life who passed away. Okay, so 32 years with the love of your life who passed away, and then you had a 3-year relationship with a narcissist. I think I got that right. And I'm sorry you lost the love of your life. I hear people say to think of the ex as dead, but I struggle with that as real grief was real memories, not lies. How else can you get them out of your head? I feel full of negativity. This is Helen from Wisconsin. Thank you, Helen. I wrote down here, I think people are suggesting you give your brain some finality. So I think what people are suggesting, think of your ex as they died. And that's telling your brain it's really over instead of holding on and clinging on to maybe some false hope. But Helen, we need to be real and tell ourselves the truth, and they're not dead. And an abuse. And if you're talking about the relationship you had with the narcissist who abused you, that stuff needs to be processed. You need to clearly understand what's going on. If you don't, it creates shame. I'm a bad person. Okay? You need to understand shame, emotional pain. It's misunderstood. It's simply misunderstood pain. Once we understand, it stops hurting. Once we realize we're not a bad person, it stops hurting. You need to grieve. You need to go through the stages of grieving. And I know that we do that when someone dies, but that's not realistic. You can't just lie to yourself. And something that bothers me, a lot of people say these days, is live in today. Don't concentrate on your past. That was that was old. That happened a long time ago. Things like that. It's not very emotionally responsible. You have a responsibility to your emotions. Okay, and if something has hurt you, you need to process that and make sense of it. If you lost somebody, you need to grieve and not just pretend they never existed. There's things to learn from pain. A lot. And the more you learn, the better you'll feel, and the less likely you'll hurt yourself again. Okay? Thank you, Helen. Sorry for your loss. And Becky from Montana. Hello, Becky. Is there any way to maintain a relationship with my narcissist father? And you went on to talk about him. And, I wrote down here, I believe there can always be a chance, but it is up to you. I would never tell somebody there's no chance. And I try to be real careful with the whole no contact thing. Okay? The reason I say no contact to people typically is because, that person's already been abused. So right there, that's evidence, don't know how to handle the person abusing you. Anything you've done up until this point has been too little too late, right? So we need to get away from the person abusing us. And they're typically so manipulative, and we're so weak and vulnerable. Often it could take something so small to get us back in their grips. So we have to really commit to just no contact. We can't even talk to them because it's that bad. Okay? And that works, and it's good for a while, if not forever. But particularly, and I'm just going to answer your situation, Becky. You want to know, is there a chance with your father? Well, that's up to you. Okay, that's totally up to you, Becky. What may benefit you is to separate. Give yourself some time away from him. If you're being manipulated in a manipulative relationship, things aren't clear. We need to step away and out of it and look at it from the outside to see and understand. Okay? It really, you need to do that. So you need to find a way, if you want to have a relationship with your father, you need to find a way that he doesn't hurt you. Okay? You need to find a way that he doesn't hurt you. And it's emotional distance. You've got to heal from anything, from the pain he's caused you. It's just like when someone hurts you, that needs to be totally acknowledged. You can't just move on and you still hurt. You can't do that. So somehow you have to come to terms with the pain he's caused you. And you need to find, if you want to have a relationship with your father, then you are totally responsible at that point for how he makes you feel. And you can't feel bad and let that continue, okay? It's that simple, Becky. And if you can't find a way to have any relationship with him at all, where he doesn't hurt you, then you probably shouldn't have a relationship with him. Okay? Heal, get strong, learn boundaries, okay, and learn how to deal with him if you want to, okay? But don't let him hurt you anymore, okay? Thank you. And Steve from Canada. Hello, Steve. Do I have to keep them blocked forever on my social media? I was a prime source for 2 years and discarded 2 months ago, full no contact regimen. So that's kind of like the last question, right? Do you have to keep them blocked forever? You don't have to do anything. It's all for you, Steve. So that's a question for you. It's up to you. Why do I have to keep them blocked forever? Why do you want to unblock them at any point? Right? If this is just someone you dated, I'm guessing someone who might have a personality disorder, so somebody that abused you, the relationship is over. Do I have to keep them blocked forever? No, you don't. But my question is, why would you want to now unblock them? Doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, keep them blocked forever. Sure. Why not? Why not? It makes no sense to unblock them. Like they're okay now, you know? Or like saying, I can handle it now if they contact me. You know, I get that. But that's almost kind of like you care more about what they think again. You know, you care more about their opinions and stuff. Maybe some validation. Maybe you're still looking for some of that. Yeah, you shouldn't want to unblock them. Because I don't know any good reason to. I don't know, maybe you have a good reason. I don't know. Usually there aren't any. Especially on social media. Why on social media? You need to contact somebody, talk about something, message somebody. You don't need to post, unblock them on, you know what I mean? Just, I don't know. I wouldn't. I would leave them blocked, forever. Thanks. Ruth from London, England. Hello, Ruth. Thank you, David. I just love your English accent. Thanks. In the UK, you're allowed 6 free sessions of talking therapy on the NHS. This I did in my therapist, and I think I'm much, much improved. If I want more, I have to pay, but as I'm paying for a lawyer, it is impossible to... you have a question, but first I want to say thank you for stating that, Ruth. Ruth lives in the UK and took advantage of 6 free sessions of talk therapy on the NHS. I don't know what NHS is. I hope that people in the UK know what that is. And that's what I mean, that there is help available in your country sometimes, and you may not know it. I would advise to take advantage of help that's available. Okay? And I've actually, I know somebody who found an amazing therapist through that same service, who knew all about narcissism, okay? That was free. Thanks, Ruth, for sharing that. So Ruth's question is it possible to have 2 sociopath parents or 2 NPD parents? Well, of course, anything's possible, right? Some things you got to consider is, if you have 2 narcissists, they need so much attention. They don't emotionally connect. The relationship won't be any kind of emotional importance, any kind of emotional reward, things like this. I'm guessing it's for status. I kind of call it like a business deal, a business agreement. If it tends to last, 2 narcissists together, right? It's like more running a corporation than having a marriage. My guess is it'll never work. Is it possible to have 2 sociopath parents? Yeah, I think I've seen that. I think I've seen that. But try to realize that sociopaths always exploit other people. So two people sitting there exploiting each other over and over and over and over and over and over again, and each of them thinking that they're better than everybody else, all these kinds of things is very, very conflicting. Very conflicting. So I would believe that's extremely rare. Sociopaths really need victims. I could see narcissists being married way more than, just narcissists, way more than sociopaths. Yeah, but I've seen it happen, but I don't know anything more than that. Thanks. Dawn from Phoenix, Arizona. Hello, Dawn. I have to co-parent with the ex. He discarded me, replaced me, and yet in an email interaction, he's still very hateful. He even hid in his car around the corner from my house with a clear view of my house after I dropped off the kids from school and he was picking them up. Why hide and why still punish me when he discarded me and is so happy with the new supply over 2 years? Okay, obviously, Dawn, he's not happy with the new supply if he's doing that, right? Right? You're not happy. And he can't detach from you, Dawn. He's got some problems. He's got big time relationship problems, and he doesn't care about the person he's with very much. Must not be, here's the theme again. Must not be very emotionally connected with the person he's with now, and he's not, very obsessive, impulsive. I would get help. Okay, I would try to document these things. I would be very careful and not respond or react to him personally, but I would do something about this. I would go find a lawyer who knows about these things. I would consider getting a restraining order. Okay, I would. And I don't think you have to be scared for your life to do something like that. I think harassment is enough. And harassment is unwanted attention. He's giving you unwanted attention. And it's creepy. And it's weird. And he needs to know it's not just wrong, but unacceptable. Okay? Hope that helps. I would get some help. Lawyer, police, things like that. David from Pennsylvania. Hello, David. Thank you for answering my last question. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm no doubt trauma bonded. I told her to hit the road and was sorry. I told her immediately after I said it. Then I'll get away from her and begin to feel great, and she'll hoover me back, and the pretext of doing something together for our son. She knows I won't say no to him. Then I'll start all over again. Love bomb, devalue, and I'll feel like crap. I'm so torn apart from this back and forth, off and on again BS. I tried to tell her this, and all she did was nod her head and agree with me. I tried the gray rock and everything else you have suggested on here, but I just wind up back in the same place. I've had enough, and I'm at my wit's end, and I feel like I'm hooked on drugs. I know it's bad and wrong, but I can't say no. Does one have to hit rock bottom before one disengage emotionally from the narc? Keep up the good work. Thank you, David, Pennsylvania. David, thank you. And I'm so sorry, David. I'm really sorry. This cycle we go through over and over and over again just creates more guilt and shame for what you're doing to yourself. You're ashamed of yourself, I'm sure. I'm very sorry, David. So, you need support, David. I say this all the time, and I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. A lot of us most of us in this think, I'm always okay, I'm tough, I'll get through it, I don't need anybody, I don't want to ask, I don't know, I'm embarrassed, I'm ashamed. No, I'm telling you, you need support, guys. Look, just a professional alone. Or say, look, David, you tell this to a therapist, your therapist, you tell this to your life coach, you tell this to a family member, you tell this to a friend, and these people will help hold you accountable for your actions, for your choices. Because David, I'm glad you acknowledge that you're doing this. That means you can stop. That means you can change. You do have control over this, okay? And you feel like a drug addict. I'm telling you, I've said this before. I keep telling you guys, this is the same thing. This is addiction. Your brain looks just like a drug addict's brain. You're suffering from addiction. And addicts need support to stop. You need to be held accountable for what you're doing to yourself. Okay? You're responsible to help yourself. And if you can't do it yourself, then you need to go get help. Okay? And stuff, I'm telling you, stuff like this is really hard to do for yourself or by yourself. And it can be damaging. Most of you guys don't know what you're doing. So how can you do it alone? And it can cause so much damage. I'm telling you, man, I'm not trying to brag, but there's so often I have a client and I can have in 5 minutes, sometimes they can have more progress. It's not what I'm doing. They're opening up, they're being vulnerable, they're talking, stuff like this. I'm just listening. But in 5 minutes, they can have progress that could take 5 years or maybe never. Don't waste your life and your time. Don't damage yourself more, guys, by trying to do this alone. I'm telling you, a lot of this stuff has been caused in your childhood by neglect. Really. Abandonment isn't just your parents up and leaving one day. Abandonment is, there's emotional abandonment. And your parents could be in the same room with you. Okay? I'm telling you. You guys need to get help. You guys are asking for help. Get help. And be held accountable. If you guys are having problems with your actions and you don't trust your own self, have somebody there for you. Okay? Have somebody there that you can call, text, message, reach out to when you feel weak, vulnerable, you're scared. There's all kinds of things you can do. All kinds of things you can do. I offer all kinds of suggestions. Watch my CPTSD videos. I say it all the time. I have a playlist, Healing CPTSD. You don't have to have CPTSD for the videos to benefit you in ways of to understand and things you can do. Okay? Thank you, David. Thank you. Keep learning, keep understanding so that you don't think that you're a bad person anymore. Okay? Because if you're going to let someone treat you bad, then you must feel bad. So you need to do something about that. Okay? Thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you, everyone. That's the end of the Q&As. Please, everybody, love yourself first. And please, if you could, assist me and support these videos. And because I'm hoping that, sometimes all it takes is somebody to just come across this stuff and it changed their life, okay? We don't need people suffering. People are committing suicide every day from this, okay? Thank you, guys. Love yourself first. I'll see you again next Monday. Bye-bye.